Hey guys, the most targeted citizen here. Hope you're having a good day. It is cold and windy in North Carolina. Here's the airport. You've never seen it during the day, but they're building a big museum. As you can see, that's the beautiful skyline from Hickory, North Carolina at the airport, right above the Crawdads Stadium. I'm headed way up the mountain in that direction. As you can see a lot out here. It was warm earlier, but it is not warm now. It is frigid now. It has been a mud hole here for about 2 weeks. I hate winter. I can't stand it. You guys come in the chat, let me know you're here. Been a hectic week. Very hectic. Trying to stay above the drama. Dealing with a lot of drama, unfortunately. The court of Caldwell County is trying to play games for some reason. Of course, you know, I got the folder here with me of all the records inside of for the case that I don't have because I didn't get pulled over and I wasn't speeding, but I got pulled over and I wasn't mad at the cop and I didn't cuss the cop because I got mad at the cop and cussed the cop. Man, I wish I could be one of those YouTubers that gets on here and just blows smoke up. I mean, when you're watching YouTube channels, because that's all I watch is YouTube, when you watch these people, you feel like you're part of their family. You know, once you get in, you get to know them, you think you know them. You don't know crap about these people. They're all dishonest. They're lying to you. They all, oh, it's perfect every time. We're all great. There's nothing wrong with us. We're good guys. We never get upset. Life is wonderful and beautiful. That ain't real. Here's the big bridge they built. They built this park here and then this bridge, and it goes all the way around Lake Hickory so the yuppie scum can walk. They spent $7 million so rich people could walk on a sidewalk around the lake. $7 million. I think in these municipalities and states and cities, if they have a surplus of money, they should give it back to the taxpayers. Because how many people, the people like me and the people that view my channel that have to work all the time and are slaving and just trying to survive, we don't have time to take a leisurely walk around the lake. Is that ridiculous? But all these yuppies and yummy mummies and they got millions of dollars. Oh, we're going to walk around Lake Hickory today. As if they don't have to walk around their gated communities. Sickening. But they just keep spending money. These idiots in Hickory, 2 years ago, they had this big wooden structure built over top of the main road over 127 in Hickory. And of course, for Queer Month, they showed the rainbow flag all across, lit it up in rainbow colors. Well, I can't remember how much it was. I think it's like maybe $150,000 they spent on a piece of wood, an arch. Anybody with common sense knows that an arch, a piece of wood, is not going to be strong enough to hold up. Well, it collapsed. Taxpayer money down to. What's up, Mr. Moore? I'd sure like to hear about your transformation. Last time I heard from you, you were doing construction. I didn't know you converted to the holy life. But we all got to listen to whatever God's calling is. I'm still listening. God has been quiet. Or I just ain't at the point to listen, or I'm so blocked off with what's going on in my head and around me. That's a problem. Hope you and your kids are well and all your family. It's been a real struggle for my family. My oldest daughter's little boy was in the NICU. He was, I can say officially that my grandson was the youngest surviving baby at Catawba Memorial High School. 22 weeks old when he was born. He was 1 pound and I think 3 or 4 ounces. He was so small he could fit in your hand. So it's scary. He came home last week, and of course, you know, my daughter's, because he still came home on oxygen. Thank you, Zoloft, for praying for me, because I need it. But my grandson came home, and he's still on oxygen, and they got to give him. I'm learning a lot about babies that I did not know. I did not know that iron doesn't come from the mother's breast to the baby. So you have to do an iron supplement. And where he was out of the womb so early, he didn't get the iron that they really want him to have in his body. So they're pumping iron into him. And iron, if you know anything about nutrition, iron will stop a youngin' up. It'll stop a human up. So a little boy, every 3 days, she's got to give him a suppository to try to get him up. But he is active. He's healthy. He's slowed down a little bit with his weight gain. I think they weighed him the other day at the hospital or at the doctor's office. It's like 11. He's almost 11 pounds, which is great. God bless you, Mr. Moore. Hit me up on Facebook if you get a minute. We'll talk. So, it's hard being, trying to be there for my daughters because they don't want to feel like they're bothering me. And I told them, it doesn't matter. And they know. You call Dad, he's going to be there. So all those people in the peanut gallery says, I'm not there for my kids and I don't ever see my kids. I see my daughters probably more time than the average guy my age. I see both of them 2 or 3 different times a week. I would love to see them every single day. But, you know, kids are kids and they do what they got to do. The hard times of life is finally starting to hit. Because being a targeted individual my entire life, when I was married to my first wife, I was the bad guy. Why? Because the ex-wife would run around and befriend everybody, but to befriend everybody that supposedly loved me, she had to trash me to make me look like the bad guy. Oh, he's so abusive, he beats me up all the time. And that's where these accusers get their crap. What's up, Steve? Good to see you're doing well. So, the ex-wife for years was a thieving drug addict, but to everyone else, oh, she was just the victim of my violence. Well, I've been gone from her since 08. 08 when we separated. She hasn't had a job since. She's done nothing. My daughter found her OD'd here last year. She walked in the house to feed her granny, and my ex-wife was in there OD'd on the freaking bed. So she's really, I mean, her drug addict boyfriend just left her. That's how bad her addiction is, that her even drug addict boyfriend left her. So it would be a really easy time for me, for all the years that I've been abused. Hello, Miss Madison. It would be so easy for me to gloat and tell my kids and everyone, I told you so. You never lived with the crazy girl. I did. I knew she's a drug addict. I knew she's a thief. I knew all these things, but seeing the heartache in your kids' eyes when one of their parents is an addict, I hurt for them. And I know the pain it would cause them if their mama died. You know, I mean, they just lost their granny, which was my ex's mother. And me and her had a very volatile relationship. She's the only human on the planet that has ever thrown tequila in my eyes and got away with it. Only person on this planet that wrecked one of my cars and got away with it, besides my ex-wife. So she just passed away 8 months ago, and my daughter, they didn't really have a chance to process that. And now the addiction's really shining through, because I want to be with my grandson every single day. Every day I want to be there. I want to be there and play with him and see him and all that. But my ex-wife, she won't do anything. Who doesn't want to be a grandparent? You know, I mean, I'm 48. I'm way too young to be a grandparent, but who doesn't want that honor to see your family tree grow? It's just so heartbreaking to see her not care about my daughters, and seriously, she just doesn't care. When her mom died, her mom left her a mobile home to live in, and she can't even keep up the lot rent. She won't pay for nothing. She's just strung out. Steals from everybody she sees, robs everybody blind, takes advantage of the system, and And my daughters and my oldest daughter just told me that, hey, I've been paying her phone bill and her car insurance. And I said, what? Oh, yeah, I've been paying her car insurance and her phone bill. I said, why would you do that? Well, I had to be on her insurance to get a lower rate, but I didn't know that she's making me pay for it all. And I'm like, so your mama can't be there for you. She can't, because my daughter, she needs to go to work. She needs to make money. I told her she didn't have to, but you're right. Addiction is the worst disease among us because it gets to a point where it really isn't your choice anymore. But my daughter made the decision. She said, Dad, if she can't be here to help me because she promised she would. I mean, it got to the point where my daughter had to take her off the visitation list at the hospital to get up to the NICU. And you would think that would wake her up, but it didn't phase her at all. It's just another excuse for her not to come. So my daughter's like, Dad, I can't do it anymore. I'm just going to cut her off. I said, well, honey, you have to. You can't love someone to death because that will happen. You will love them literally to death. You cannot keep excusing their bad behavior. And that's what she kept doing. I wish I could have got away with all the crap that my ex-wife's done, but now it takes everything I got to say, ha, 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 I told you so. But that's not going to help anybody. So my dream is to have all my kids right with me. That would be my dream, to have my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter, and have them on the same place as me, and us, be a family like we used to be. This world ain't going to be here much longer, and I cherish every minute I get to text them and talk to them. And I mean, my youngest, she got like a 45-minute ride home from work every day, and she'll call me on the phone, and she'll just let me listen to her drive home, and people honking at her and screaming at her and yelling and car road raging. But, I just want them to know I'm always there for them. So that's what is so funny about being on YouTube. The amount of trolls. I guess that people are really that miserable where they see somebody like me and all they can do is attack me and say that I guess it's got to be jealousy. I don't know what else it could be. Deflection? Is that it? Deflection? I don't know. You're right. The trolls, of course, it bothers me to the sense that I don't like being slandered and libeled. And this, like I said, the latest one, he is so dumb that he threatened to have me swatted. If you know what swatting is, that means people die every day for SWAT teams. SWAT teams is the most dangerous procedure that law enforcement does. It's the dumbest thing. Hey, we're going to break in their house when they're sleeping, startle them, and run in and arrest them. Boy, that don't sound like it could turn out bad, because God forbid you just knock on the door. Why? Because law enforcement likes violence. When there's no cost to their criminal actions, when there's no accountability, violence is what you got left. It's ridiculous, I know, but that's the world we're in, unfortunately. So, I watched a movie last night, and I hate Netflix, but sometimes I just wanted to break from the skipping on YouTube and going round and around YouTube. And I knew it was a mistake when I clicked on it, because any movie they make is, you get the whole gambit of social justice BS. It was the movie about GameStop, the video game seller place, and the stock market drama that went on in 2020. Yes, Miss Madison, the guy was threatening me with swatting. I'm going to get you because I know that the government took everything from you because you were manufacturing methamphetamines, and now you carry guns and you're a prohibited person. You're not. And of course, he's a Yankee from New York City or New York, and he thinks he knows the laws in North Carolina, and he lives in Georgia. He's the guy that takes pictures of fire trucks and police departments, but he refuses to do it without permission. So that was his threat. I'm calling around and I'm going to get it. And I'm like, dude, it's easy to get my criminal history. You just request it. Catawba County Courthouse. You can call them anytime to request it. It's like $40 for a background check. It ain't hard to do. And that's the problem, really, with Google. Anything you say on Google is amounts to Wikipedia, where you can just go on Wikipedia and tell them about anything. Go pay the ticket. Nope, I don't pay tickets for things I don't do. So, yeah, that was the insanity of that. And, of course, they're all playing games now. The lady who's supposed to get me on the docket for my court date says, oh, yeah, you have a court date on such and such a day in February. You can pick that one or later on. I said, let's get it done as soon as I can to get the body camera footage. And then she sends me paperwork in the mail that's supposed to be the subpoenas for the Highway Patrol. And it's for a totally different case that I have no idea, I know nothing about. So, drama. That's the problem with people. They just want to pay it, whether you did it or not. Look, I'm doing 58, and that's average of what I do. And let me tell you this about my little Ranger. When I put the Jeep, I'm doing 60. I'm actually doing 55. It's actually lower. Everybody is just flying around me. They're just flying around me because the speed limit is 55, and they're just flying by. So I don't speed down this road. I know how fast my speed is. I don't even have to look at it. I know because I've been driving cars for 40 years. I've been driving. Yeah, I started driving the cars around the neighborhood and stuff when I was very, very young. So I know how fast my truck goes. I know how fast. I just know how fast I'm going. And to be pulled over by a pig who says, "Yep, I guesstimated and clocked your speed at 70 miles an hour." On this road, doing 70 is doing a lot, especially when my truck is usually loaded when I come up the mountains. And that day had me and my two kids in the front, and then the truck was loaded down like this. So my little Ranger is not a powerhouse. It's basic transportation. It's all I need and all I desire. I love this little truck. So you just, if you keep letting the thief rob you, guess what happens then? They're going to continue to rob you until you stand up and say, no, you can't have any more of my money. Tell you what your truck is doing. Okay. Here's the deal about law enforcement. Just because they got a badge and gun doesn't mean they should be believed. That's why they have a Brady list, because so many law enforcement officers lie, and they lie under oath. So no, sorry, a cop just can't sit on the side of the road and say, well, I think he's going 70, look at him go. No. And if the way I'm thinking is, if you catch a cop in one lie on a report, why ain't he gonna lie the second time on the same report? Right? The problem, Madison, with the Brady list is did you know that cops that lie on reports don't get put on the Brady list? They only get put on the Brady list if they're I don't want to say if they're prosecuted, but if they've found guilty of lying during testimony. Okay? So they can lie on reports all day long. And unless that chief in that division, that police department, puts them on the Brady list, no, they can lie all they want. That's the crazy part. What I need is somebody that knows that can write code, and let's start a website where it's a Brady list online, and every time you get a crooked cop and they lie, we'll post it up, we'll post the information, we'll post whatever they lied on, or the evidence that they lied, and you can imagine how big it is, big enough that it will have backing. It'll have. Why would anyone, especially the cop suckers, why would they want a dishonest cop on the road? And that's the problem with cop suckers. They will always side with law enforcement, no matter what. No matter what. They really think, and here's the stat that everybody needs to know. Federal law enforcement, they have